I discovered biomass plants were not even always biomass plants.
This is actually a solid waste incinerator that's posing as a biomass plant. The impact on this community is severe.
Hold
The
on,
plant is
hold
right
on,
next
hold
to.
on.
It's had.
So they burning poop.
Oh my goodness.
They burning poop, and they got people living next to it. Okay, that's all I got.
Yeah. And the ashes from what they're burning is getting on people's solar panels and reducing the efficiency of them, which is some of the information that's going to come out.
Start school for preschool kids. There is Green Hill Manor, and that's an assisted living senior residence. And there's also Catholic elementary school right next door.
How do you know they're polluting? Can you see it
We
ever?
can see it. The snow at the elementary school and at the preschool is covered with black, some kind of black soot. We just had it analyzed, and it came back as mostly tire chips. They have to add tire-derived fuel to raise the temperature of the fire, because anybody who's tried to burn green wood or wet wood knows that it doesn't burn very well.
So if you imagine that this thing is on the snow, what you think? You don't think it's going to be on the solar panels? It's going to be in people's lungs as they breathe in, trying to breathe in clean air. They're
Yep.
breathing this black soot.
Yep. I've seen a couple tires on fire. It is not healthy. It is not healthy.
But this biomass plant had yet another surprise.
They admit that they burn 20.1 tons per hour of creosote-treated railroad.
How many tons per hour?
20.1. Yo, creosote is freaking poison. And that when that gets in the air, dude, that could kill you. But it's a biomass that is eco-friendly, and it's part of the agenda that they pushing for this climate change thing. So that's okay.
Besides that, they are allowed to burn 500 pounds per hour of PCP treated railroad ties. These are shipped in from Canada.
Yo, that's poison. That's straight poison, dude.
These people are horrible, bro. They're monsters.
It's not green, it's not renewable, it's not carbon neutral, it's not anything that they claim it to be. Yet, they got $11.5 million grant because it was classified as renewable. The plant owner told us that they were having trouble getting enough wood chips. And he even asked us if we had any scrap wood where we lived, would we call the plant and let them know so they could come up and pick it up.
We're not talking.
So when they talk about they got a grant, over $11 million grant, right? Where is that money coming from?
From the taxpayer.
Thank you.
Talking about some old industrial site. We're next to one of the most beautiful places in the world.
We are next to Lake Superior. This is Keweenaw Bay. This is actually Lance Bay. It's part of Keweenaw Bay. It's Lake Superior, our lake. So it's a very sacred place to many people.
No, there's supposed to be a climate change rally.
I'm gonna try to fast forward a little.
Yeah, this looks like the section of the documentary that was dealing with useful idiots.
Yeah, they don't know nothing, man. But these kids kind of know though that biomass is bad, you know. Matter of fact, I'll play it
for wind or solar. So there was.
Adam told me they were planning on substituting coal burning with biomass burning.
The permit that is currently being considered by the state is a permit for 24,000 tons of biomass per year. And the plan is to do that in all four boilers. Unfortunately, the steering committee considers biomass renewable at the moment, which we're not happy with.
Michigan State wasn't the only university to go green.
I'm happy to announce that Carolina will be going beyond coal in the next decade. Now, as we begin to wean ourselves on coal, we're about to try another alternative energy source, biomass.
And who is here to help the University of North Carolina switch from burning coal to burning trees?
So it is a great pleasure to be here today to celebrate the remarkable.
You just do here the Sierra Club.
Yeah, I know all about them.
Yeah, keep your eyes on this, man. They all in this, man. The Sierra Club.
Yep.
Step that the university is taking to say we're going to do our part.
A remarkable step indeed. We're to do our part by getting out of bed with coal companies and into bed with logging companies? Where did the idea of colleges going green by burning trees come from anyway? A little college called Middlebury in the heart of Vermont.
Welcome to the celebration of the opening of Middlebury's new biomass gasification system. It's now my great pleasure to introduce this afternoon's speaker, Bill McKibben.
What powers?
And this guy here, there's some information going to come out about him. I don't want to jump ahead, but remember this face.
A learning community. And as of this afternoon, the easy answer to that is wood chips. It's incredibly beautiful to stand over there and see that big bunker full of wood chips. You can put any kind of wood in.
Yeah, hold on.
Pretty much anything that burns.
Yo, hold on. Is this Butthead's father? Fire! 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 It's like, dude, the wood chips pollute. When you burn wood, it pollutes. Okay. There have been a lot of abandoned houses that the city has knocked down. They use like taxpayer money. They got federal grants because there was a lot of vacant houses and stuff. They knocked them down, and it was an intrusion. People was using them as flop houses. People was doing drug deals in them. There was murders in a bunch of these houses. So they knocked down like 500 something houses in the last 10 years. If it would have been so eco-friendly, with the rubberized asphalt shingles, the scrap wood that the houses were now made out of, because they're made out of 2x4s, planking and stuff like that. Why didn't they just burn the houses down?
Mm-hmm. You know what? Another thing, another video I was watching. I was thinking about playing it, but this is going to take up too much of the time. They was explaining how when you burn the wood, because the wood absorbs CO2. So what happens when you cut the wood down, you release all the CO2. When you cut the wood down, you burn it, you release all the CO2 that it had absorbed on top of more CO2 from burning the wood. So it's really very, very counterproductive to be burning wood.
But these people are looked at with great admiration because, like the college students, they knew about it. They weren't useful idiots. They were going against it. But you have people like this guy and the Sierra Club guy. They're looked at with great admiration, and they're lifted up and exalted, and they're doing things that make things worse.
Yeah. And the thing about it is they know they're doing things that make it worse. They just doing it for money, which is going to come out about this guy as the video goes on. They're in for the money.
We can toss in there if we can chip it down to the right size. And there are very few similar cases any place in this country of that kind of change over that scale. But it shows it could happen anywhere, and it should happen anywhere. In fact, it must happen everywhere.
It must happen everywhere.
Burning wood.
And now it's time for a nature break, enjoying our sustainably managed Michigan forests.
If you walk through here and you look, there's virtually nothing growing. A little bit of grass occasionally.
And it seemed that biomass plants indeed were suddenly everywhere, like this one in Cadillac, Michigan. In Detroit, an incinerator that burned garbage was considered green.
The Detroit incinerator is known to emit horrible smells and pollutants that neighbors say make them feel sick and put their health at risk.
It's a stink. It's a horrendous stink.
A proposed biofuel plant for the Upper Peninsula of Michigan would consume trees from tens of thousands of square miles.
In order to create 40 million gallons of ethanol, they were going to have to use up over 1 million tons of green wood. We pointed out that they were going to be using more natural gas than they were going to be creating ethanol to displace the natural gas. If you continue to do this, you're going to be fertilizing the forest.
Fertilizing the forest with fossil fuels.
Fossil fuel-based, right, fertilizers.
Made from natural gas.
Yeah.
Then came a ballot proposal backed by Bill McKibben and
nearly
every major environmental group, requiring Michigan to get 25% of its electricity from renewable sources by the year 2025.
This year, Michigan voters have a choice. Keep burning dirty coal and oil, or move Michigan to clean, renewable energy like wind and solar. Vote yes on Proposal 3.
Surprisingly, Proposal 3, also known as 25 by 25, was the brainchild of an organization that was 100% biofuels and biomass.
Allowing America's farms, ranches, and forest lands to be active participants in contributing to America's energy future.
These are the biomass and biofuel plants across the U.S.
So all these plants are chopping down trees.
And it wasn't just the USA, it was all around the world. Wood chips, which is just a euphemism for trees, are being exported to Europe from America, British Columbia, Brazil, and Indonesia, wherever they can get them from. Biomass, especially when you add in biofuels, is by far the largest portion of green energy around the world, even in Germany, source of the solar miracle.
So wait a minute. This is very interesting here, I find, is that the number one source of this clean energy that they so-called bragging about, the number one source is trees.
Dirty. It's dirty.
It's trees, which is the worst source, which pollutes the air, the worse than coal, is the number one source of green energy.
Insane. Insanity. Upside down world, man.
Wood chips, which is just a euphemism for trees, are being exported to Europe from America, British Columbia, Brazil, and Indonesia, wherever they can get them from. Biomass, especially when you add in biofuels, is by far the largest portion of green energy around the world.
So look at this, man. Solar energy and wind is it's like 10%, not even 10%.
Yeah, 10 and then 20%, and then the adding up to a little more than 30%, and then burning trees is almost 70%. This is insanity. This stuff is a lie. It's a false doctrine.
Bro, it's all, and these people are, how do you sleep at night? You burn all the trees on the planet down so you can make money. Because that's what it's all behind it, is all money.
Yeah. Yeah.
All a hoax. All this carbon dioxide is all a hoax, man. So these clowns can become rich. But they're creating a real problem. They're the ones that's creating the problem.
Yeah.
By burning down all the trees. Now you're going to have a carbon dioxide problem because the trees that need the carbon dioxide to survive so they can give off oxygen are not going to be around.
Yeah.
These people should be in jail.
World, even in Germany, source of the solar miracle. But maybe I was missing something. Maybe I had it all wrong. I decided to ask people protesting fossil fuels how they felt about biomass and biofuels as green energy.
This is all the clowns protesting fossil fuels because they've been watching the fake news.
No, definitely not. Of course not. Of course not.
Burning biomass, any kind of combustion is something we just need to move away from.
The more trees we have, the better.
A lot of that didn't grow overnight. If we cut it down,
well, at least they know that.
To that.
you're here as an oak tree, fight a chainsaw. That wouldn't be saving the planet.
No, it's a painful way to go. I can tell you that right now.
It'd take you a while to regrow.
Oh yeah. It wouldn't be me. It would be like an offspring, you know.
With so many people doing it on such a massive scale, all of a sudden at once, like that's pretty serious.
No, I think we should not be burning trees.
No. Why would we cut down trees? We shouldn't replace one terrible way of getting energy with another terrible way of getting energy.
Hold on.
Clearly.
The thing is, this doctrine is anti-God, anti-Christ in another way, because the Lord created the earth. The Most High in Christ created the earth in Genesis 1, right? 7 days. And it was perfect. It was good. It was very good. And it was a self-cleansing, self-contained system. And they have these things where, you know, they came up with the term fossil fuels in the 1880s, I think it was, so they could promote the idea of scarcity to drive up the price, number one. Number two, even the carbon emissions, aka carbon dioxide, that comes from burning fossil fuels feeds the trees, which makes them give out more oxygen. So it's a self-contained system, and man and humans or whatever have been polluting. I mean, in the time of David, they had foundry work. When Solomon built the temple, it was a brass laver that was in the temple of a great size, enormous size. That was from foundry work. There have been foundries and all kind of things, and then the pollution from the if all of this stuff about climate change and the carbon emissions, if all of that was true, the steel mills that rose throughout the earth, starting from like the 1880s to 1940s, we should all be dead by now. Okay, so they think that this is not a self-contained system created by the Most High in Christ, and that they don't have a solution for it. That's why they're going about to establish their own solution. They're exalting themselves in the place of God, and they're teaching people like this, even though they're against biomass, they're still teaching them that using so-called fossil fuels would be a bad thing, and it would lead to climate change and all this other stuff. And it is absolutely not true. And to show the hypocrisy, you have people in this government stopping pipelines, local pipelines here on this continent, and buying oil from 15,000 miles away that has to be transported by ships that emit more carbon dioxide than 5,000 average cars driving on the highways in America for a year. So, and then we shut down manufacturing facilities here and buy stuff from China and have that stuff sent over here on container ships that use more fuel or emit more carbon dioxide than 5,000 cars driving around in the United States for a year. Just one trip, one way. You know, so the hypocrisy that we have to cut back, and you got these giant companies, instead of having something made for $15 here and selling it for $19, they can make a gazillion of them in Asia for 19 cents and sell it for $30 now. And they emit more carbon dioxide than we probably use in a lifetime. One person would use in a lifetime. To send one shipload of that over here, it's it's worse than special needs. People can't, these people that's doing this with this manufacturing and this oil transport, they can't be that stupid.
No, they're not.
Thinking that having the stuff made locally in this country is better than buying it from overseas. They can't be that stupid. It has to be evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you could, I mean, it's some pretty stupid people running around this place, but to be that stupid, it has to be on purpose.
Yeah, they're motivated by evil, man. Like the scripture you read, how they're minions of Satan. They're just minions of Satan, and they're getting their marching orders from Satan.
Yeah.
Most citizens are opposed to biomass and biofuels. But what about environmental leaders? At times, they have promoted biomass, but other times, they sound like they are against biomass. Like this Sierra Club policy, we are deeply concerned about the implications of wood to energy for native forests. Or this statement signed on by 75 environmental groups, burning forests for energy will destroy one of our best defenses against climate change.
Which is true. Burning forests for energy will destroy one of our best defenses against climate change, because the trees absorb CO2. So that's what you should be doing, is building trees. But to show you that they're about money, let's check out what they say later on.
But then again, their language leaves loopholes that enable biomass. The NRDC says you must use the right types of biomass. The Dogwood Alliance says maybe small biomass plants are okay. And the Sierra Club flat out states biomass can be sustainable.
Now, how the hell can it be sustainable?
It's sustainable for sustaining that money flow into their pocket. That's how it's sustainable.
Exactly.
Which side?
And these are the people that's supposed to be protecting the people. They're supposed to be speaking up against it, but they down with it.
Why are they really on? I thought for sure with the camera rolling, environmental leaders would speak for the trees.
Environmental leaders, okay. Where's the science?
We're here to tell a story about what the forests of this state, of our Commonwealth, mean to us.
Does your organization have any stance on that?
I'm not sure I would say we support it as much as we can wrap our heads around it. We've almost made a peace with the timber industry.
I'm just curious, what's your group's stance on using forests for biomass?
Biomass is renewable. Biomass is sustainable.
And
How could he say that it's renewable? He's a liar.
With clean water action, we don't really have a stand on it. If the director of the Sierra Club was here, she'd be able to talk your ear off about it.
You heard what he said? This is funny. This is a funny part. He said if the director of the Sierra Club was here, she'd be able to talk your ear off about it, right? So they're going to bring the director, and let's see what she says.
I'm the director for the Sierra Club in Pennsylvania.
Does the Sierra Club support or not support biomass?
I'm not totally prepared to talk about our policy on biomass
Yeah.
today. Our position is somewhat nuanced, so I just want to be, careful not to.
So you with 350?
I am.
I mean, what is there not to talk about? It's obvious that there's a payout going on.
Yeah, hold on, bro. I am on the website Activist Facts, ActivistFact.com. Sierra Club. Founded in 18. Yeah, I pulled it up. No, I got it. I mean, if you want to pull it up, you can, but I'm just going to read this.
Remember, you put it up before. You put it up on the screen before. You know how to do it.
No, I have it on my phone. You know what? I'm going to pull it up, bro. Go ahead and let it play, bro.
All right.
And I'll pull it up and we'll get back to it.
I can't really speak for 350.
Do you personally have an opinion about whether we should be burning trees for green energy?
No,
No, I don't have an opinion on that. I like a fire.
One of my biggest concerns as an environmentalist is that we're starting to burn trees.
This is Van Jones here, the CNN clown.
Tree burning power plants. Are you aware of the problems with biomass or biofuels?
Yeah, I'm not as aware of that as I could be or I should be.
Jeff Gibbs, working on a documentary in Michigan where I live.
Now, Robert Kennedy, he's supposed to be a guy against fighting for the rights of people.
There's large plants that burn trees for energy and pretty much whole trees chipped up. Do you have a thought about whether that should be part of green energy or not?
Well, the great thing about green energy is you don't have to pick a favorite.
Jeff Gibbs. Oh,
All
my
BS.
biggest concern is that in Germany, for instance,
now this is the dude again.
Yeah.
Sierra Club 350, whatever.
Yeah.
moving towards solar and wind, but 60% of their actual energy is coming from biomass. 60% of what's considered renewable energy. Burning trees for energy?
I don't know the details out of Germany. What Germany's really doing is a lot of sun and wind, and that's really powerful to see.
But I'd like to see us come out against any burning of trees for clean energy. Would you?
Although I confess I stoke my wood stove almost every night of the winter, so I'm not the right.
But designating green energy for power plants.
You see, he's trying to push him out the way.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about this no more. And that's the thing. That's the thing. They all know.
Yeah, they know.
They all know.
And they're the ones that's supposed to be fighting for the people.
Yeah.
They're all in the take.
Yeah. Let me share this screen, okay?
All right, pull it up.
Okay. Share screen. Okay. Share screen.
Hold on 1 second. Let me check it out. See if you can pull it up.
There it is. I think I need your permission.
Okay, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna add it.
Okay.
There you go.
There it is. Okay. This is activistfacts.com/organizations/194-Sierra-Club. Founded in 1892 by John Moore to make the mountains glad, the Sierra Club is the oldest and arguably the most powerful environmental group in the nation. But its concerns are no longer limited to the happiness of the highlands. Once dedicated to conserving wilderness and future human enjoyment, the Sierra Club has become an anti-growth, anti-tech, anti-energy group that puts its utopian environmentalist vision before the well-being of humans. Some of its leadership positions are held by activists with radical ties and even violent criminals. This is what their research says, okay? The club has done well preserving a mainstream image despite its increasingly radical bent. And with an annual budget of roughly $100 million, the organization has the money and power to push that radical agenda. The Sierra Club advocates a number of extremist policies that put the organization at odds with the scientific community. For instance, the organization advocates an end to obtaining energy from any fossil fuel sources, nuclear power, or large-scale hydroelectric projects, even though leading climate change scientists note that wind and solar aren't enough to meet our energy needs. Okay, I'm going to skip down to this paragraph. To fund its radical activist agenda, the Sierra Club gathers funding from a suspicious maze of donations. Wow. Including funding from an offshore shell company based in Bermuda. Even more alarmingly, U.S. taxpayers are funding a portion of the Sierra Club's extremist activities. The organization's lawsuits against the EPA have netted the organization almost $1 million in attorney fees paid for by the Department of Justice. Okay, now that the Sierra Club has joined with a coalition of environmental activist groups, labor unions, and other left liberal groups to form the Democracy Initiative, the Sierra Club has an even more powerful platform to promote its radical agenda. I'm going to skip down. They sue to make money. Here it is. questionable financials. The Sierra Club is one of the best funded environmental activist groups with over 79 million in assets on its last tax return. I'm going to skip down to here. Ron Arnold, author of Undue Influence, Wealthy Foundations, grant-driven green groups, and zealous bureaucrats that control your future, described the strategy to the Free Beacon. A number of big green donors have chosen offshore foundation for government guaranteed anonymity. Several countries have become favorites in the no disclosure required industry, notably Bermuda, Panama, and Liechtenstein. Okay. And it goes on to go into how the thing is, it's funded questionably. It's funded by a bunch of things. It has basically a radical agenda. And one of these things that they're promoting is the continuation of this biomass thing, which we've already shown through the things that you've pulled out, that a biomass plant is dirtier than a coal plant.
Yeah.
So how is this biomass and this green stuff more? The solar is dirty in its creation. It's not highly efficient. The wind, okay, but it needs wind, right? Solar needs sun. So on a cloudy, windless day, you're not going to get any energy from them. They don't want fossil fuels, which includes natural gas, but they're building natural gas plants to fund this, and these plants don't like being turned up and then turned back down, and then being turned up and then being turned back down on cloudy versus sunny days. So that increases maintenance costs. This biomass is dirtier than coal plants, but it's renewable because the trees might grow back in 150 years. This is a radical agenda because it's radically away from what the Most High in Christ said. We already went over scriptures like in Deuteronomy 20 and other places that shows you how you're supposed to deal with trees. We already went over how they exalt themselves, all right, against the knowledge of the Most High, because they're not telling people, listen, you should be considerate of your neighbor. You should do this. You should if I want to be considerate and save energy, I should not be at the store shopping for supermarket goods and stuff, and every light in my house is on. I should be conserving energy. I should be considerate that energy should go to somebody else. I should cut back on waste. They're not preaching that. They're preaching this thing that's going to make them money. And the love of money, coveting after gaining money, is the root of all evil. So all this thing is a totally wicked satanic doctrine.
Yeah. It's just it's a money grab.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We're gonna go. It's gonna bring it out. It's gonna bring it out even more as we go on. That it's a lot of money behind it.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing that's so sad about the society is that the people that you think that's there to help you, or that's a voice for the people, they fill in their pockets with money also, because they're not doing nothing for your benefit. Like that's what we're showing you right now with all these guys, these groups that are supposed to be environmental groups that's supposed to be have interest in helping the environment. They couldn't care less about the environment, man. They care about making some money.
Yeah, and they don't care about people either.
Yeah. So the people, the rich, the elites, Satan's minions, they just know that, look, if we want to make money, all we got to do is pay you to keep your mouth shut. We'll pay you to keep your mouth shut. If we got to pay this group to push our agenda, we'll pay this group to push our agenda. If we got to pay the media, these guys got trillions, man. You're talking about 1% making more money than the other 99%, it's nothing to them to give somebody on the media a couple $1 million to push their agenda.
Yep.
And that's what we have going on.
Yep.
I don't know. It's not what today's about. We're on the.
But we're burning trees instead of fossil fuels.
This is from Taiwan.
Oh, good.
And we're wondering that what role do you want to play in this market?
I think the biomass question is a non-starter.
The biomass question is a non-starter. You got that right.
I found only one environmental leader willing to reject biomass and biofuels.
Yeah, she's going to speak truth.
So we are talking of the old oil economy trying to maintain itself now through another raw material, the green planet. The only reason corn and soya is being planted for biofuel in this country is the subsidies make it profitable. I think the big crisis of our times is our minds have been manipulated to give power to illusions. We shifted to measuring growth, not in terms of how life is enriched, but in terms of how life is destroyed.
You said a lot of deep stuff.
Yo,
Her honesty was refreshing.
yo, is she still alive? She said some stuff there, man. They might be looking for her, man.
Yeah, I hope she's up in India somewhere where they can't touch her.
Yeah.
But as for the rest of them, I wondered, what are they hiding? And why are they hiding it?
The money.
Is it their ignorance?
Nope.
Money.
Or is it something else?
You know what it is. He's going to bring it up.
What if they themselves had become misguided? What if they've made some kind of deal they shouldn't have made and are leading us all off the cliff? It was long past time for me to come to grips with the other elephant in the living room, the profit motive.
Yeah, this is the part I want.
The only reason we've been force-fed the story climate change plus renewables equals worse saved is because billionaires, bankers, and corporations profit from it. And the reason we're not talking about overpopulation, consumption, and the suicide of economic growth is that would be bad for business, especially the cancerous form of capitalism that rules the world, now hiding under a cover of green.
Today, Bloomberg Philanthropies is making, I'm happy to announce, a new investment of $30 million in the Beyond Coal campaign. We have more. I'm glad to say that more than a dozen additional funders have committed to match that $30 million.
So a dozen funders are matching $30 million. And these people right here, like this clown here, $30 million Beyond Coal, they got the media so much in their pocket that they put them out as a philanthropist or something like that and got the people clapping at their demise.
Yeah, but his private jet uses 10,000 metric tons or has 10,000 metric tons of carbon per year because he won't catch a commercial flight.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
We won't talk about that though.
Yep.
And who were these new partners? One of them was Jeremy Grantham, billionaire, world's leading timber investment advisor. They were not investing in trees to turn them into nature preserves, which might answer another riddle. Why is this name redacted on the Sierra Club's tax return?
Uh-oh.
Would they be embarrassed?
He's part of the Sierra Club.
Yep.
He makes his money selling wood.
Yep.
To take $3 million from a man who made his living selling the forests of the world? Bloomberg
So that's why they're pushing it.
Yeah.
That's why they're pushing it, because they're getting paid to push it.
Exactly.
Timber investment billionaire to the party was no coincidence. Bloomberg sponsored a UN climate session to discuss wrapping up biomass and biofuels around the world.
And you know what amazed me too? You have all these fossil fuel companies. They down with it too.
Yeah.
Oil companies, they making millions off of it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Billionaires were in love with the idea of turning what was left of nature into green profits. Remember when Al Gore had gotten Richard Branson to invest billions into saving the planet?
Richard Branson, founder of Virgin Atlantic, powered a Boeing 747 from London to Amsterdam on a coconut oil mixture to highlight the potential of this amazing oil as a clean energy biofuel.
Branson had actually invested in biofuels. He was attempting to replace the jet fuel damaging the planet with biofuels that required the consumption of the living planet.
Wait a minute. Hold on, bro. Hold on. This is Richard Branson, the guy that went to outer space without a spacesuit on? That guy?
Yeah.
He just went to outer space but didn't have a spacesuit on, huh? Okay.
On for the airline industry.
Dozens of researchers from all over the Northwest gathered in Missoula the past 2 days to explore the idea of converting the region's massive reserves of wood into jet fuel, especially with the demand for aircraft fuel expected to grow by 1 billion gallons in the Northwest alone.
United Airlines will buy a $30 million stake in biofuel company Fulcrum Bioenergy. The airline used 3.9 billion gallons of fuel last year.
What technology was Silicon Valley billionaire Vinod Khosla hoping to profit from?
Nature takes 1 million years to produce our crude oil. Kior can produce it in seconds.
The company took over this old paper mill where logs are picked up by a giant claw, dropped into a shredder, and pulverized into wood chips.
Clean gasoline.
Green gasoline.
There must be a downside.
There is no downside.
You're lying.
The bank that crashed the economy, ruined millions of lives, and has their tentacles on the levers of power. What would their favorite form of green energy be?
One of the very interesting markets that we deal with is Brazil. It's unlike any other market in that today, alternative energy isn't really alternative energy. It's so much a part of the fabric of the society. The country began to utilize its vast resources of sugarcane to produce ethanol.
There was a man from Goldman Sachs who was particularly in love with turning forests into profits.
Has everybody got enough coffee? You might want to get some more.
Meet David Blood, former CEO of asset management for Goldman Sachs. How much money did Mr. Blood believe should be invested in green energy?
A natural alignment for something in the order of $40 to $50 trillion worth of capital.
$40 to $50 trillion.
That's a lot of money, bro.
And who was going to help the man from Goldman Sachs? Help him raise that astronomical amount of money?
A gentleman some of you may recognize and know, Bill McKibben. It's
He goes again. There was your boy again.
Hold up a second. Hold up. The dude that couldn't answer the question about his biomass bad, but he's so wait a minute. You got these people that chop down trees and sell wood, giving people money to push this biomass thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me read a scripture real quick. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. But it tells you a couple verses later, don't be hasty in thy spirit to be angry, because anger rests in the bosom of fools. So there's a balance there. You just can't walk around being mad all the time. But the second part of this verse is what I want to concentrate on. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. So if this guy contributes to this club, he contributes $3 million or whatever, he sells trees for biomass. Is this club going to be against biomass? No.
Not.
Because that gift destroyed their heart, destroyed their morality. Because remember, we read the thing from the activist resource or whatever the website is that showed how, listen, they don't care about people.
Obviously.
They care about money. And that's the same thing with this dude. He's in it to win it. That's all it is. He's in it for his own self, because these entities, these elites, these companies, and these people love money. So when the dude 25 minutes ago in the video said, is there a profit margin? Yes, there absolutely is. Go ahead, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Do not get this done very fast, then we're not going to get it done.
And there go the fear factor. What if we don't do this? Ain't nobody gonna live. We all gonna die if we don't do this.
Yeah, but the whole thing is he wants to get it done quick so he can get that money quick.
Exactly.
But he presenting it to us like, yo, the earth is going to be destroyed. Yeah, no, your world is going to be destroyed if you don't make that money.
Exactly.
And so Bill McKibben went forth to generate the political will for trillions of dollars in green investments.
Our next guest has been called our nation's leading environmentalist.
And you are, in some sense, the grand
environmentalist
of the environmental movement.
Yeah.
So they're being glorified as doing good when all along they're doing evil.
Yeah, they want to shut down coal plants and replace them with something that's going to deplete the oxygen supply on the earth and be more pollutive than a coal plant.
And meanwhile, they still using the coal plant, but they putting that camouflage like they're going to do away with the coal plant.
Yeah.
Which is not going to happen either. One big lie.
On a global crusade for what?
Commit to divesting from fossil fuels. We can't justify investing our money in.
Tell me that ain't Butthead's or Beavis's whichever one like the fire. Fire! Fire! Tell me that in his pops, dude. Come on, man. They got to be related, man.
Genesis backward.
So when you divest from fossil fuels and invest in green funds, what are you investing in? I took a deep dive into Securities and Exchange Commission filings to find out. For instance, in the Green Century funds, recommended by 350.org and Bill McKibben, I found less than 1% solar and wind, and 99% things like mining, oil and gas infrastructure companies, including a tar sands exploiter, McDonald's, one of the companies driving meat consumption across the planet, Archer Daniels Midland, one of the world's largest producers of biofuel, Coca-Cola, the largest creator of plastic pollution on Earth.
Coca-Cola is behind it, the largest producer of plastic pollution.
Yeah, and a lot of these companies that are heavy polluters, they are into this climate change thing because they're saying, look at climate change, don't look at my pollution that I'm creating. And there has been several studies, several articles, and a few documentaries about that. They want you to look at climate change and be worried about that while they polluting all the streams, rivers, and garbage dumps and streets and alleys and stuff across the world. Don't look at the pollution I'm creating, but I'm going to contribute this money and I'm going to have them look at climate change.
Yeah. And this dude, man, the Coca-Cola, they got so much plastic on the planet. Matter of fact, let me pull this up, bro. There's so much plastic that these dudes got on the planet that it's like an island of plastic in the ocean.
Yeah, the Great Garbage Patch, the size of Texas. It's in the Pacific Ocean.
I'm going to pull it up real quick.
And the thing about it is it's independent people that have come up with solutions to try to eat away at it, you know, and get the garbage out of the oceans and stuff like that. But these companies with all these billions and trillions of dollars, they're not interested in that and cleaning that stuff up.
Look at this. It's like islands of plastic, man.
Yeah.
In the ocean.
Yeah, and you know what? Now I just read something yesterday that there's tons and tons and tons of masks and gloves and sanitary hand wipe napkins and stuff in the ocean as well. So now the whole ocean going to get COVID. So we done. The fish going to have COVID. The algae going to have COVID. Everything is COVID, bro. It's just because, you know, when people throw away their mask, you know, they probably tested positive, so that mask should have been thrown in a biohazard bin, but it wasn't. It was put in the ocean, and it's just going to endanger everything, bro.
It's crazy, man. What they doing is insane. All right, let me finish this up.
Including one that brags about biomass burning and banks.
That's who's investing in this bank.
Lots of banks. Including BlackRock, the largest financer of deforestation on Earth.
You said the largest producer of deforestation on Earth?
Yep, yes it did.
Destroying our life support system.
The Sierra Club also partners with a green fund called Aspiration. Aspiration also includes dozens of companies profiting from the destruction of the planet, including Chevron.
See, that's what I'm amazed at. These gas companies are big time behind this, man.
Yeah, don't look at their pollution like when they have an oil spill or anything like that. Look at climate change.
Yeah, look at this. ExxonMobil,
Chesapeake Energy.
In order to maximize the production potential of the well, the shale formation will be hydraulically fractured.
The Russian gas giant Gazprom.
Gazprom owns the world's largest explored gas reserves, 36 trillion cubic meters.
And in perhaps the most bizarre twist of all, the Sierra Club's Green Fund's biggest holding is in Viva, the world's largest consumer of forests, to be incinerated in green.
Wait a minute. The Sierra Club, that's supposed to be about...
Okay.
They behind the largest company that's destroying forests. The largest destroyer of forests.
And people can't see the hypocrisy. And then because I said CV or something earlier, they're going to take the video down. And then probably for all these other reasons or whatever, but people refuse to see this. The people that know about it don't want it to be seen. But if it's the Lord's will, this word going to go out that we shouldn't be worried about this. We should be worried about the Most High in Christ and serving them properly to get us through all of this madness and hypocrisy.
Exactly. And it makes it real clear that when you see this massive destruction of the planet and the lack of care for civilization, you know Satan is in hands is all on it. So these people that you see in this world that's running this world and the elites and the super rich, it's so obvious that these people are totally satanic. And you cannot put your trust in this world. You can't put your trust in the media and these people that claim to be helping you. The only place your trust can go is not in man, but in the Most High God.
Yep.
That's the only place. So let me finish it up. There's not that much left. We're almost done.
Yep.
Energy biomass plants. Of course, one investment option is a green fund run by Bill McKibben's buddy, David Blood. And who was the chairman of this fund? Someone familiar.
Use capitalism
There
to
go your
give
boy.
some incentives for people
Gore.
to do their
Oh,
best.
hold on a second.
Al Gore,
Wait a minute.
David Blood.
Wait a minute. That's the guy that said the West Side Highway in Manhattan in 2008, he said it would be underwater in either 2013 or 2014 because of climate change. But I went to a wedding in Manhattan and stayed at a hotel on the West Side Highway in 2019. So what is this? And then you could go on a website. I should pull it up, dude. The 150 years or 120 years of false climate change, global warming, global cooling predictions, bro.
Yeah. Where they kept saying the earth was going to end. This was gonna be underwater. This area was going to be underwater.
Yeah.
And it never happened, but people got memory of a goldfish.
They
don't remember that stuff.
Partnered to form a company called Blood and Gore. No, scratch that. Generation Investment Management. And within this fund, Blood and Gore designated a special investment category, targeting $650 million of biomass and biofuels. Funny thing was, they partnered before Al Gore's film came out. Was that movie just about climate change? Or something else?
On one side, we have gold bars. Don't they look good? I'd just like to have some of those gold bars. On the other side of the scales, the entire planet.
And he chose the gold bars.
If we do the right thing, then we're going to create a lot of wealth.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, let me share my screen right quick, bro.
All right, brother.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
What happened?
I'm trying to see what I can do here. Yeah. Okay. There we
I was so down, I was drowning. I ain't know I had a purpose. Looking for you, I was searching for you, and I'm learning. Yeah. I was haunted by the serpent. Had to keep my soul close, cause the Most High is who I'm serving. Yeah. I was so down, I was drowning. I ain't know I had a purpose. Looking for you, I was searching for you, and I'm learning. Yeah. I was haunted by the serpent. Had to keep my soul close, cause the Most High is who I'm serving. Yeah. I was so down, I was drowning. I used to look down in my heart and be drowning. And you know that this water is dark, need to escape, the pressure is hurting. Yeah, deeper I go, stuck in my woes. The sin is a struggle, I'm fighting it though. The pressure inside is clicking my mind. I need to repent, I'm hurting inside. Yeah, every day we go and fight, vigilant till the day that we die. Cause we ain't giving up alive, we just go harder for Christ. Daily battle, daily bread, gotta go eat, gotta stay fed. It ain't no game when the evil try and tread. Watch my back and my brody look ahead. So we defending the truth. If it come down to death, then we dying for you, Lord. So we stay patient, giving them praises all the way up to you, Lord. And the Most High come first, gotta build faith or end up in a hearse. Looking for living waters, searching for living water. I was so down, I was drowning. I ain't know I had a purpose. Looking for you, I was searching for you, and I'm learning. Yeah. I was haunted by the serpent. Had to keep my soul close, cause the Most High is who I'm serving. Yeah. I was so down, I was drowning. I ain't know I had a purpose. Looking for you, I was searching for